Okay, welcome guys. We are back. We're back with another market analysis. Just to continue from on Wednesday, was it? Yeah, on Tuesday, in fact. We were looking at, let me just share the other screen. We had done an analysis, and of course, we had said we were going to come back the second day just to obviously the developments. So this is the video. As we can see, price action was still on a Wednesday. So I'm right. So it was on a Wednesday. And it was still in the morning, 4 a.m. over there. And of course, 11 a.m. It was around 11 a.m. on my side, local time, South Africa. So this is where price was currently trading. As we can see, it was 18,043. And I remember in this video, we were just obviously just making the analysis market breakdown, trying to determine the next draw on liquidity, which at that time, obviously, we had obviously built up in the whole 18 minutes. We're just building up scenarios of what could happen, what we should expect, how price should be reacting in certain price points, points of interest. So we had that first point of interest there. Then the next one was that one, but ultimately my directional bias was towards the weekly open, which if we can see on a Friday. Now today is a Friday, and then we could just share the next screen and show you how price has developed from Wednesday. As we can see, obviously price has already, so price did from that point. So we were around this time when we were doing the analysis, and as we can see, development price has gone up as we had anticipated to that weekly open to test it. And right now, obviously, we've just been playing around it, not really, and obviously we've seen those retail price pricing like your double top kind of forming, but it's not definitive as yet because we need to see what market is going to do and all of that. So it would have been a nice run there. As we had determined, we could have made the money. But of course, what the point of this video is obviously just to see the development, and then we see how price had been moving in these 2 days. So just to quickly understand what had happened. So of course, I remember even that time since we were here, I'd said right now, entering price in those margins was really not the ideal. So we just had to wait for more confirmations. And obviously, looking at how price was reacting, we can see bodies in the first rally, bodies closed right below the consequent encroachment of 50%. If we had to put it in a Bachi 2 over here, in that fair value gap, it's the 50%, right? So I don't know what's wrong with this broker or what, but this chart pattern, Tuesday's data, most of Tuesday's data has been omitted. If you can compare the charts from now and then the previous video, you can tell that a lot is missing, a lot of data is missing. Remember, price had touched in this order block, but right now I am not getting that. So something is a bit fishy when it comes to this price action, but oh well. Anyways, moving forward, we're just going to do what price did in the course of the 2 days. So obviously we found price there. We went up into that consequent quotient, came back down, that nice reaction, no bodies closed above it. We went back down to test this area of support and resistance, it broke out. It had been a resistance there, came back, consolidated a bit, becoming a nice support, shot up. What did we do? We came back to test it. So this was the breakout, and then this is the retest. And then as soon as we retested, what happens? We rally back up. We take out that nice high over there. And what happens after taking it out? We move a bit further up, and we just reach out into this fair value gap, this previous fair value gap over here. That's the one that we reach out into. So the precision of price, it's reversing right there. So that's the one we reached out to. And then as soon as we done that, what happens? We went back down. What happens? We take out these relative equal lows here. We take out liquidity. And then we go up. And then what happens as soon as this liquidity gets taken out, we rally all the way up. Since obviously the drawn liquidity was at weekly open, we rally all the way up. And what happens when we get here, we create that nice order block to continue the move. So this was the next station. So the first buys would have been around these margins, raiding that sell side liquidity. As soon as we raid it, you put your orders, we rally up, and then also when we enter into this fair value gap, we also enter there. You see how the bodies, see how this candle penetrated through that consequent encroachment and bodies closed above it. And then the rest of the bodies were all closing above this area on this upper quadrant, indicating that bullish momentum. And what happens? We continue further up. We enter into that second point of interest that we had, which would have been a target. And we went into it, rallied straight through it, touching that weekly open. And as soon as we touched it, obviously we just grab a bit of liquidity over there buy side, and then we go back down. We fill up that imbalance. We fill up that imbalance there. As soon as we fill up, we buy again. That would have been a buying opportunity. Price just flipped out and went back into that equilibrium level in this fair value gap. Bodies all closing there. We went up into the weekly open again, and then we went back down into here. So this is where we're currently trading. So it's two scenarios. As the formation, we can see it's a double top. So we could, and now we're approaching this neckline here of bodies. So we could go back down, filling up any inefficiencies in price or from this margin, since obviously the program has been a buy. As we had been looking throughout the daily, price has been creating those higher lows, higher lows. So of course, from here, we could ideally continue and break that, making new highs. It could be a scenario, but we'll see what price does today. Today's NFP, but I think that's it for the video. I was just showing that development of price from Wednesday when we were still right at the start of this day. Obviously, growing liquidity we had anticipated for the weekly open, which we did get. And moving forward, let's just see what price does. Do we continue? We make new highs, break structures, or are we going to have that nice market structure shift around these areas, or retesting some of these areas to continue to the buy side, looking for those discount entries? I think that's it. Thank you, guys.